Well, the sun is shining down in West Sussex, which can only mean one thing. It's time for the Goodwood Festival of Speed 2023. And as always, AutoEV are here to bring you all the latest releases in the electric car world.
The sun is shining, there's a bit of wind, which was a bit of controversy yesterday. Saturday was actually cancelled, but we're here now and there's some great new offerings from Ford, Nio, Alpine, and we're really excited to get stuck in and have a look round.
So without further ado, welcome to the 2023 Goodwood Festival of Speed.
And welcome to AutoEV. Okay, so this is a really exciting car from MG. This is a nod to the old Group B 6R4. It's the EX4, and I just think it looks fantastic. I mean, it doesn't really look like the old 6R4. It's probably more of a Pikes Peak looking car, but it's to take that MG4 and make it look like this just shows you what a great car it is, and I think it looks stunning.
But making its debut here at the Goodwood Festival of Speed is this, the MG4 XPower. This is MG returning to the hot hatch market with a dual motor version of its popular MG4 hatchback. And believe it or not, this car produces 435 PS, giving it a 0 to 60 time of less than 4 seconds. Price? Well, it's going to be around £38,000. And of course, we hope to bring you a full road test on the car on the AutoEV channel very soon. And if returning to the hot hatch market wasn't enough for MG, they're also returning to the sports car market. Their absolute back to basics category they used to always do very, very well. And this is the new Cyberster. And this isn't a concept car, this is a production car that's coming to the UK very, very soon. Details at the moment are a little bit scarce. However, what I can tell you is to think about something about the size of Porsche 718 Boxster. It's probably going to be available with a single motor and dual motor. And obviously, given the sort of value for money that MG seem to be offering, is certainly when it comes to performance, prices are thinking about starting around about £50,000, which I think is an awful lot of car for the money.
Okay, so we're here with the new Kia EV9. We did do a sneak peek of this the other day, but actually seeing it here, having a good look round is amazing. And this is going for that SUV 7-seater sector, so it's a hotly contested sector. So it's got its work cut out, but I just love the look of this. It's got that kind of coolness that Polestar's got, but it's got that kind of utilitarian look. I just love the way they're going with this. So here we are with the Smart One. We've covered this before, but this is the Brabus edition, which is super quick. It's got 0 to 60 in something like 4.5 seconds, which puts it in a league where the new Alpine, all sporty and dressed up, this is actually quicker, but it's quite a fantastic car. Okay, so here we are on the Nio stand. This is the new Nio ET5. Obviously the EP9 in 2018 broke the record up the hill. It's a really exciting mark from China. The big thing with this is they have a battery swap, and that battery can swap out in 5 minutes. And there's battery swap stations globally now. I think it's about 1,500 so far, and that's only going to get bigger, but it's a really exciting concept.
Now, it's another debut at the Festival of Speed. What I think what we're seeing is Goodwood is now effectively a motor show.
It is, I think it really is the UK motor show.
It really is, yeah. So there's a huge amount of public debuts, first times to see it. And of course, this was get its world reveal here. It's the new Hyundai Ioniq 5N. Now, of course, the N is Hyundai's kind of performance brand.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's great to see the N brand coming out into some of these models. I mean, this has got 570 horsepower or something, which is
Dual motor.
Dual motor.
Yeah, yeah. And it's got an interesting thing. You've actually got simulated gear shifts with it as well as simulated engine sounds. Now that sounds a bit fakery, but I'm told it's quite something quite special to drive. I haven't driven the car as yet, but hopefully we'll get it on the channel soon to drive.
Definitely, yeah.
But of course, again, it's Hyundai sort of like, you know, laying down the marker in the sand. We know they've had big success in the rally world, and the N brand is getting more and more renowned for motorsport pedigree.
Yeah, for sure.
But another world debut at the Goodwood Festival of Speed. Now, if I asked you to tell me what BMW's first electric car was, would you have ever thought it was this? This is a 1972 1602E, and it was actually built for the 1972 Munich Olympics, and it was designed to sort of like showcase BMW's technological prowess, if you like, and it was used to shuttle VIPs around and follow some of the big events, like marathons, believe it or not. So it shows you, even back then, BMW were focused very much on an electric future. Now, another debut at the Goodwood Festival of Speed is with BMW, and it's the new 5 Series, which of course, as with all new BMWs, they're launching as a fully electric car. This is the i5. Now, it's going to come in 2 variants to start with. There's this one, which is the M Sport, the eDrive 40, the lower power model, but of course there's also going to be an M50 version as well, which is up on the main stand. Now, it's going head to head obviously with things like the Mercedes-Benz EQE and the Genesis electrified G80. It's that sort of standard kind of mid-size executive sort of like saloon car. And given how well BMW have done before with electrifying a lot of their models, we're expecting big things from this. On sale later this year, probably delivery starting in 2024. I'm really looking forward to driving this car because I do like their i7, as gawping as it is to look like. But interestingly enough, in terms of its styling, they've really kept it toned down on this. Of course, BMW can't afford to be too risky with the 5 Series or even the 3 Series because that's their bread and butter models. But without doubt, I think this is going to be a cracking car to drive.
Like I say, here we are with the new Abarth 500e in a very leery yellow colour. I just think it looks amazing. I know Brian's had a drive of this already, and he says it's just fantastic and feels a lot like the petrol Abarth. You get that really excitement of that small car, really got a real good buzz. So watch out for that review coming up. Okay, here we are with the Maserati, the new Grecale Folgore. This is going to go head to head with the new Porsche Macan. And this is the first time we're seeing this. We haven't got many details yet with figures or anything, but on first looks, it looks really great and can't wait to get behind the wheel. Okay, so here we are with the HiPhi Y. This is some really exciting EVs coming out from China at the moment, and this is their 3rd model. They've already launched 2 other models already, and they're in Europe, but they're not in the UK yet. But they're really gunning for that Tesla look and feel. It's a proper luxury car. It's really well built. It's got the gull wing doors. With the price point of the other 2 models that are already out, 75k, it's a bit expensive, but we're hoping this is going to come down a lot in price. So let's check this out soon.
Now, this is a really, really important car that's getting its public debut at the Goodwood Festival of Speed, Charlie. It's the new Ford Explorer, and as we know, it's going straight into a marketplace that, well, we cover a huge amount.
It's huge, yeah. The SUV market is massive.
Yeah.
And it's such an important car for Ford. You know, the Fiesta, they've stopped making that now. This is almost going to be the replacement for the Fiesta, I feel.
Certainly in terms of numbers, absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, in terms of the amount of cars that sell in this sector across the market space, because this really is now, people see as a family car.
That's right, yeah.
Now, it's based on Volkswagen's MEB platform, so there is a bit of platform sharing with Volkswagen, but I was fortunate enough to actually see this car last year at Ford's Technical Centre in Dunton. And trust me when I say the interior is really quite special, and it doesn't use Volkswagen bits, so everything that they've used from Volkswagen is very much under the skin.
Yeah.
Now, it's coming on sale towards the end of 2023, beginning of 2024, and as we say, prices are probably going to be round about sort of like starting, I would think probably mid 40,000s and go up to just over 50.
Yeah. I think by 2025 this is going to be part of a 9 model lineup for Ford, which is a massive thing, isn't it?
A really important car, this.
Okay, so we're here with the new Alpine A290 Beta, which is a kind of play on the Renault 5 EV, which last year we absolutely loved. And Alpine have taken this car and just made it look phenomenal. It's got those real motorsport cues to it. I love these kind of X's that replicate like maybe a track day with the tape over the headlights. Looks amazing. And this has actually got an FIA approved race chassis. So that makes me think we could be looking at a 1-make race series for these, which would be great. Okay, so looking inside the Alpine A290 Beta, it looks phenomenal. It's a proper race car in here. It's got that central seat configuration, a bit like the old McLaren F1 car with the two passenger seats either side. It's just fantastic.
Now, making its UK public and dynamic debut here at the Goodwood Festival of Speed in 2023 is the new Polestar 3. It's very much a luxury SUV. Now, I've actually been fortunate enough to have been up close and personal with this car, and I've got a sneak peek episode for the car coming up on the channel very, very soon. Now, it might seem sacrilege to some, but believe it or not, this is an electric-powered Caterham 7. But it's not going into full-scale production. It is a bit more of a sort of an engineering experiment just to see whether or not it can be worked. Now, Swindon Powertrains actually did the battery pack and the drivetrain for it, but it's quite a quick little thing. But although they're not putting this into production, Caterham do have something very, very special to show us elsewhere at the show. And this is that Caterham that I was talking about, something very, very special and something very, very new for the brand that is celebrating 50 years this year. It's a small two-seater, well, it's a 2+1 actually. There is actually a single central mounted rear seat in the concept, but it's basically a small electric sports car. Now, it's going to have around about 268 brake horsepower from its single motor powertrain, and it's going to weigh around about just under 1,200 kilos, which is heavy for a Caterham, but very, very light for an EV. 55 kilowatt hour battery, probably a range of maybe somewhere between 200 to 250 miles. It is a design concept at the moment, but they are talking about this is going into production very, very soon.
Okay, so here we are with the AIM Sport 01. This is quite an interesting car. It's actually designed and built by the Nissan GTR designer, and I just love the looks of this thing. It's a lightweight sports car. It's just shy of 500 brake horsepower, just under 1,500 kilograms, but it's a really exciting concept.
Now, interestingly, there is a lot of debate at the moment whether or not electric cars, as in battery electric cars, are really the future. And of course, some manufacturers have been looking into hydrogen. Now, we've already tested a couple of hydrogen cars on the AutoEV channel, the Hyundai Nexo and of course Toyota's Mirai. But BMW is one of the big manufacturers that also believe that hydrogen could have a future. And of course, they're running one of these. It's the iX5, which is a hydrogen fuel cell car. So it is an electric car because it's powered by electric motors, but rather than charging it up from an electric charging station, you refuel it with hydrogen. And this technology is also being used by another manufacturer, and that manufacturer is Ineos with their new Grenadier. Now, Ineos have a technical partnership with BMW because they supply the petrol and diesel engines for the Grenadier, and of course they're also prototyping the fuel cell vehicle with BMW's fuel cell technology. Now, it does show that there's many manufacturers out there that don't just believe that maybe the battery electric vehicle might not just be the whole future. And of course, it's exploring other ways that cars can get their propulsion. And what better way to round up our Goodwood review with a car that's built right here actually at Goodwood. It is of course the new Rolls-Royce Spectre, and it is the company's first sort of foray into series production EVs. Now, it's important to distinguish that this is a Rolls-Royce first and an EV second, but if any car's going to suit that silent wafting nature of an electric powertrain, it's going to be a Rolls-Royce. Now, it's a two-door coupe. It's starting to go on sale now. Order books are open and deliveries are starting at the end of Q3 in 2023. And I cannot wait to get one to review on the AutoEV channel. So that concludes our review of the 2023 Goodwood Festival of Speed. And despite obviously the weather yesterday calling a complete cancellation to Saturday, the first time in the 30 years that the festival's been going, we've had good weather here today. If a little bit windy,
yeah,
in fairness.
Fantastic.
Highlight for you, what's been the highlight for you here today?
I think the Alpine A290 Beta, I just think what they've done with that Renault 5, it just looks, I love the Renault 5 EV anyway, but what they've done with that, it just looks amazing.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because obviously this week I've been driving the Abarth 500e, and it does seem, and of course we've seen now the MG4 XPower, and it just seems like the hot hatch seems to be making a bit of a comeback in the EV world.
It does, yeah. It's been the SUV for ages, isn't it? Like
absolutely.
All these manufacturers doing the SUV EVs, and suddenly the hot hatch EV
seems to be the new
focus,
thing,
isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. So I think you're right. I think that's a real standout. I think it's a real standout debut, you know, and certainly for UK. But what's been interesting for me is the number of global debuts we've had. And we've just been talking about hot hatches. The Hyundai Ioniq 5N it got its global debut at Goodwood.
Yeah, I
And
mean, Goodwood is the new motor show for the UK, isn't it?
It is, and it does show you the sort of the impact that the show is having on the global automotive world, that manufacturers as large as Hyundai and and people like that are now seeing it as a place to launch brand new cars and showcase the best of the best that they have.
Yeah, for sure.
So for me, that's been the big standout thing for me, has been the number of global debuts that we've seen. New BMW i5, the Hyundai Ioniq 5N, Rolls-Royce Spectre. It's the first time the public's seen that car here after it was just the press saw it back in the US just a few weeks back. So they've all been here. So as Charlie said, it is, if you're planning on, you're missing the motor shows, Goodwood is the one to come to now. The Festival of Speed is certainly that one.
For sure.
But certainly very, very busy. That's the only thing we will say. And our feet are a bit sore now. So that's it. Thank you ever so much for watching another episode of AutoEV. And thank you for joining Charlie and myself at Goodwood. As always, please remember that you are subscribed to the AutoEV channel. Once you've done that, press the little bell button that's down below, because then that way you'll be notified when our next video is uploaded and goes live. Once you've watched it, if you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. And of course, leave us your comments down below.
Fantastic, and we've got a massive back catalogue on YouTube of EV reviews, so do check it out.
And remember, we're across all other social media platforms as well, so Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok now as well, so please give us a follow there, because every little bit helps us. All that remains for me to say is, on behalf of Charlie and myself, thank you for watching, thank you for supporting the channel, and as always, we'll see you again soon.